Yo.
This Funky Kong's gonna do work.
A bunch of Teddy Buggy, but I do see a Scooty. Good old Bitty Buggy.
Yeah. Teddy Buggy is going to be the more common vehicle choice among top players on 200. We have been seeing a lot more Mr. Scooty in the 150 meta. 1 second.
Yeah, so the Mr. Scooty tends to be a little slower, which is just so much of a deficit in 200cc where you already accelerate so fast. So usually you just want to go for the Teddy Buggy for that higher speed statistic.
Yeah, no, because the thing with Mr. Scooty in 150 is there's a lot more precise mini turbos, and because you're going slower, you have a lot more time to get those mini turbos out and actually take advantage of the boost they give you, whereas you're not going for all of that on 200. You're more worried about just simply taking the turns tight and whatnot. And Teddy Buggy's a lot better for that because it just has the raw speed stat, and it only loses 1 point of mini turbo.
Yeah,
So
which is not
in
much
the
at
event,
all.
yeah, in the event that you still need to get out a quick and precise mini turbo, Teddy Buggy can still do that. We are seeing, I believe this is Theft, coming up in this really good bullet bill spot.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
crazy.
gonna be on the top half here, but can take a little glider shortcut. Aided by the bullet bill is very good. And is gonna pass a couple people on the line for, okay, staying in 8th. But either way, given how far back he was in last to start lap 3, it's a very...
Yeah,
I think he's very okay with that result. We're seeing Fake Fire, Reflex, and I think that was XNTS in 3rd. Don't quote me on that.
I believe so as well.
Yeah.
So, just want to point out how fast that race just was in general.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, usually the average 150 race is going to be about 2 minutes, 2.5, maybe even 3 minutes if it's a super long track. But that's the thing with 200. The races are so much faster. Just because that's how the mode is. Like that race was maybe like 1 minute 45 seconds ish. And we are going to be heading into race 2 of this lobby. We saw the other seed with Army as the host. I believe that's seed 2 still getting started
That's
at the moment. So we'll jump to that in a moment.
Yeah, that's Paris Promenade, correct?
And we do actually have gold coming in for the 12th player in this first seed. So I guess we were supposed to have 12.
Stuff happens.
Here in this race, and his bot did get 10th. His bot did get 10th as opposed to the usual 12th you'll see from this.
Yeah, which is really good. So, in general, I know at 150cc, this is a really good front-running track because there's just not many shortcuts you can take except for that one right at the end.
It's even better on 200. It's an even better front-running track on 200 just because, again, it's so much shorter and the shock is so much harder to come by on all of these short tracks. Like, this is... I was talking about XNTS earlier. This is his favorite track to pick for first. And it's one of, I would say, the 2 or 3 best tracks in the entire game if you're starting in first that you want to pick. Like, even this blue shell that Theft pulled, not gonna really be doing much unless somebody pulls a blooper to stop him from outrunning it here. Outrunning the blue shell, another very, very important aspect of the 200cc online meta, as you're going to see this Bluebirdo in first here attempting right now. This Crazy 8 does have... Okay, I believe the blue was actually horned. Yeah, the blue's gone from the minimap. Either first had a horn or somebody hit it on accident, but either way, that Bluebirdo being able to hold on without even needing to outrun. And unfortunately for Theft, just not going to quite get the items he needs to make his way back up this pack. But a solid run from that Bluebirdo in first. Gonna see who that is in a second. Fake Fire, that would make sense. On 30 after 2.
Yeah. So you could already see from like this standpoint alone, he started at the end and couldn't get ahead because of just how dominant this can be as a front running track.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just even if you get a really good item pool, some tracks it just doesn't matter that much unless first place absolutely gets destroyed by something.
Yeah. I do have to quickly step out for a couple races. I am sorry for this. I will be back before the end of this round, and I will be back here for the rest of the tournament.
All right.
But Breezy will take over for me for a couple races. I will get back here as soon as I can. I'll see you guys later.
Alrighty.
And Breezy, proceeds to come in and help with commentary, of course.
Yo.
So every 4 races, I'm gonna switch into a different room. This is pretty sure this is race 3.
Yeah.
Yep. I just feel like that's just the more appropriate thing than having to switch every single race.
So it looks like we're going to be starting on DK Summit, and I will say, in my opinion, this is probably a really good bagging track, just because these shortcuts on them are so huge. Like the entire middle section is basically just skipped. It can be done shroomless, I believe, in 200cc. But...
Yes, it can be done shroomless, but also to the fact that shock plays a huge role in that section. And if you could predict a shock in that area, you could easily get a nice dodge. If someone's trying to like shock snipe you off the ledge. And
Oh,
just
yeah.
like that. Steph showing us how it's done.
Yeah, showing that he started all the way in 12th, and now he's already back in first.
But it seems that Scar's not too far behind.
And of course, having that horn in hand to protect against anything that might be a little too much, because it does get a little crazy in these rooms.
It does tend to, and also for the fact that it's a little scary just to hold horn in your first item slot, considering the fact that Boo can be at play and to potentially steal it. Ooh.
Of course, and gonna have to use it there. Hits fake fire in the process though. Has the coin, not gonna use it so he can get a defense item.
Bit of a sizable lead, but I wonder, is Steph going to go for the shortcut or not?
Still having that coin in hand. Doesn't want his shell to get stolen.
Goes for cut, gets shocked, but makes the shortcut. Let's go.
Excellent pausing coming from him to not press like any direction, it seems like.
Oh, there's a bomb though.
And of course, just even though it was scary right at the end, Theft able to just pull it out.
Nice running. Surprisingly, did not get shocked off of the ledge there. But it all tends to happen.
I was trying to see why he was pausing. I think it was the pause any direction he might have held.
Yeah, the reason why he paused was because he wanted to activate smart steering so he doesn't fall off the map.
Ah, I see. Okay, that was what I was confused about. Wi-Fi cheats.
So on 200cc, using it can actually be a really big benefit. Like the best example I give is like Neo Bowser City, where like the very like curvy section, if you get a golden mushroom and then pop smart steering, you don't have to like worry about having to drift and like brake. You could just kind of fly through the corners. So smart steering can be very useful on 200. Just depends on the track and depends on when you feel like you need to use it. Okay, and on the race number 4 for room 1. And we're going to Mario Kart Stadium.
So of course, this is probably one of the tracks I practiced the most because it's a very comfortable track to learn. And in general, it has so many different shortcuts. A lot of shroomless ones that are done in time trials, not sure about 200cc still. I would say they probably make them easier.
Yep. This bag's more of a... it is basically a bagger, but it's more like a soft bagger on 200. You don't want to be too far behind on this track at the same time, but shrooms will definitely be the big benefit of the track, considering that the gliding shortcut can be a lot better utilized with glider vectoring, just like that. Oh no!
No! An unfortunate menu select option coming from Beth there.
Stuff still keeping it together. Nice triple shrooms in 5.
Ooh, making it there with just the mini turbo boost.
Shock.
Oh, but gets shocked into the grass.
Shock is in play. People are dodging. Positions are changing fluctually, but the thing is, it's only lap 2. All it really matters is lap 3 to getting good items to catch back up.
And there's that motion glider just making it all the way to 6th place.
Ooh. Oh, fire.
Of course, that can be a bit chaotic, but I don't think that's what Theft is looking for right now.
Fire's back.
Good defense. He has the mushroom.
Oh no! Not
Makes
again!
another menu mistake.
Oh, that cost Theft a few positions.
And ooh, I did not know that first name.
And hopefully, if it's not too bad, we can go on to room 2 and see how they're doing.
Nuh-uh.
I knew it.
See? Nuh-uh.
Yeah, yeah. I got. Thank you, Twitch. Thank you. We love these.
Look, man, he's got to make the money somehow.
I understand. Like this is oof. Actually. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Look, they got to make the money somehow. I don't know what else to say.
Oh no. Boom. We're in room 2.
Yo.
Check it out. Army's perspective here in room 2. Huh.
Seeing a couple of DK summits, GBA Mario Circuit, Donut Circuit 3, I believe, which is really good for bagging, and then Rocky Mountain Hills. Don't know why.
And on Yoshi's Island. Isle de Yoshi.
I cannot say that. Alrighty, seeing a... What is that vehicle from?
That's a cat cruiser.
First time seeing this one.
Cat cruiser actually has the same stats as Teddy Buggy, so it actually can work just the same.
W.
Oh no! Well, good thing this track is a bagger.
Everybody, I'm gonna start front running, then just gets messed up. Okay, bagging time.
One hit. Oh, guess I'm bagging. Bagging can be definitely a strong benefit, especially on this course, because it has so many cuts, and the track, in some ways, it kind of feels short. Pretty sure
Yeah,
it's a short course. Ooh.
You know, having that triple defense not gonna matter because something just sniped right through it anyways. Because that triple shell is so good to have in the middle of a pack because there's not much that can mess you over except for stars and bullet bills, of course.
Opts to hold on to the star. I'm assuming he's going to hold for set. Alright. It's go time now. Let's see if Shock will actually play a factor into this race.
Okay, slowly climbing the rankings. Nice cut.
Great third, great third. Has someone popped cut? Cut's popped.
Triple red shell. Not
There's
gonna
one
throw
red.
all of them.
There's another. Knocks out!
Oh, and gets some
Ooh.
second place.
Great second place from Army there.
And it looks like the rankings have Army at second, Oshia at first. Did not get the chance to see third. Overall, just really great races coming from all of these players. Auto DK Summit. You gotta love it.
Look, you're gonna have to get DK Summit at some point. DK Summit separates the noobs from the high levels, from the experience. If you know the gap cut, you'll be fine. If you don't, well...
No.
Honestly, DK Summit and DK Mountain are practically the same course in reality.
And it looks like the third person in this room, I mean, third place was Wood. Mario Circuit 3, a personal favorite track of mine, just because of how many shortcuts I can take. It was so funny. Alrighty, 3, 2, 1, and let's start. Instant bagging, why not?
This is the premier bagging course of 200cc.
Okay, and already getting those mushrooms. Is this gonna stay in the back? Because honestly, I hate to make the joke, this might not matter until the third lap.
Yeah, nothing matters until lap 3, really. Army's gonna have to do a good job of collecting these coins here. Especially when getting a bullet bill, the more coins you have, the longer your bill the faster your bill goes.
Yeah, I tend to forget about that sometimes, but since Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 7, they added back the coin mechanic, so that raises your back speed just by a little, making your backing items just that much better.
And shocks at play! And with the
Getting
bill
that
at
shot
9!
punch. Looks like a couple people did, but unfortunately gonna have to use that bullet bill due to running into a banana. Still in 4th place regardless. Maybe he can get an optimal bill drop, just slightly off, but still just keeping 4th. Maybe he was able to pull ahead. Unfortunately, that banana just being so unfortunate. Oshia still holding it really strong. Army still sustaining 2nd. But looks like Susaku just going up 1 place, taking a good spot. Suwaku, not Suwaku. You see, I'm reading too fast. I can't read to begin with. Might be over for me.
Like this.
All right, we're getting the random select started. Somebody just straight up selected random. They don't care where they're going. And it looks like we're gonna have, I believe it's Sydney? Yeah, Sydney Sprint.
Good old Sydney.
So I don't quite know what this track is.
On 200cc?
Yeah.
Well, the track is pretty much of, the track's mostly a runner. The only reason you would ever bag, I mean, I like how I say that, and here we are, Army, bag. Thanks, Army. But anytime after lap 2, the track becomes essentially a runner. Because lap 2 has a lot of cuts you could take to definitely catch up back to the pack. So,
Yep.
it's not that bad to bag for lap 1, get better items, and then just catch back up in lap 2, and then run for the rest of the 3.
And of course, the mention for anybody who just hasn't played Mario Kart in forever. All these tour tracks change layout every single lap, I believe.
And that they do. But for Sydney, lap 1 is just a reverse version of lap 3. Lap 3 is a reverse version of lap 1, essentially.
And maybe we're gonna see a couple of these cuts that you're talking about, opting to take it safe though.
Speaking about a cut, that's a little cut you can do there.
Still just holding on to these mushrooms. Of course, you do want to keep these mushrooms for a quick recovery, because that little bit of getting hit can mean a lot. Army in 3rd place.
Reds clashed. Shock's finally at play.
And the shot coming out, and looks like 2 different people dodged, making so many places. An Army making it back to 10th, almost where he started at the beginning of the track. Mario Kart is just, you could make such huge comebacks, and it just goes to show in that lap 3, he had everything figured out, but Mario Kart just said no. Instant DK Summit, so they want DK Summit.
We're going to get DK Summon at some point. I can tell. Hmm.
3 out of 10 chance.
Nope, Bangkok.
No more DK Summit.
Pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly, Bangkok is a runner. That's just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I don't think there's that much opportunity you can really use to bag on this course. You're just better off running.
Alrighty, and starting off once again, getting the ad midway.
Wow, yeah, getting the ad midway. Yeah, yay! Don't you love it?
Look, this is why you run ads. That way it doesn't happen in the middle of a race.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta love ads. As we're just gonna do that, and I mean, hey, Army's in 7. I'll lap.
Yeah. So it looks like we got 9th place. Playing on a very scuffed thing. Of course, just gonna start collecting these coins. Just trying to take his lines correctly. Pulling ahead to 7th.
Nice.
Getting to the bouncy section.
Yeah, the top path's actually faster than the lower path, actually. And
Which is in
some aggressive fire.
In 6th place. Already over. That was like a 50-second track.
Like a 50-second ad.
Yeah, the ads amounted to 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Okay, I like how we're just we're going back.
Yo, we get to watch it again. The
we get to watch
replay.
it again. I think this was race number 3 for them, so one more race and then we get to switch over into room 3 and check how they're doing.
Army is still just out of lead, and Lean, Oshia, and Wood first, second, third in that order. DK Summit. Can we get a DK Summit? Do we get a DK Summit?
Will we get a DK Summit? We got
of course, such diverse track picks, to be honest. I don't see these as much. I just expect people to go DK Summit.
I am back. I'm so sorry about that.
It looks like we're getting DK Summit spoken into existence finally.
DK Summit? All right. That's a great track to return to. Lean is MVP? All right. Okay. All right. I've missed a lot, apparently.
Alrighty, and we saw this track before already on stream. Taking really good cuts on this track does mean a lot.
Very important, yes.
Missing that target shock, of course, you do not want to get target shocked in the middle of those holes. It's the best way I can put them.
Who are we watching right now?
We are watching Armies. Right?
Army? Alright. Yeah, makes sense. Green Birdo. Alright, I'm gonna do the smart steering strat here. I'm gonna wait, but bottom 4 too far behind for him to justify going back there. Blue's not a bad pull, though. Has to be careful of Tyson's reds now, and alright, it's safe for the time being, and should get some good items here from the cannon set, yes.
Yeah, that cannon pushing first place so far away to make better items more likely to come out.
Yes. Gonna get into this golden as soon as possible. Golden, debatably the worst item in the game on 200, just because with the tracks are shorter and how long it lasts, you usually, either missing an item set or missing a chance to dodge the shock or something like that. But Army taking advantage relatively well there. Getting shocked in the cannon here, very good for him actually.
Yeah,
Even one person behind him dodging, so long as he gets a good item from this set, he's in a really good spot to win this race. Yeah, triple shrooms, I think he has at least second locked up, barring him hitting this cut, which he does.
Okay,
White Yoshi in first actually failing, that'll be Wood. Can Army trail him at the
Oh!
line? He can, but gets a bad half pipe and Wood gets first.
Such an aggressive play, almost worked out, but unfortunately just slightly messed up at the end.
Should be very important for Army and win the standings there. Lean did not have a great race from the looks of things. Yeah, getting 9th, so he's going to fall to a tied 3rd overall, but I mean, he has plenty of points to still qualify. It's not like it's finals or anything where every point matters. I believe it's top 8 in these qualifying rooms. Meanwhile, we have Jenswa in a lap 3 situation on Shroom Ridge. In a star, gonna be in a dodge for the rest of the race. He's in an amazing spot, actually.
3rd place. And
yeah,
just gonna be able to hold
8th to 3rd in 5 seconds. That's...
Yeah, these shortcuts mean so much, especially that one. Just, as you can see, pulling them from 8th to 3rd.
Going crazy. In seed number 3, I believe that is.
Yep.
I actually was not even aware he was in this tournament, but he is absolutely another contender to win the entire thing, should things go his way. Another very fast player, former world record holder, former grandmaster in the solo queue lounge, and a part of one of the former champion teams. Actually, no, one of the former finals teams in the 200 League and Encore.
Okay, and getting Donut Circuit 3.
The Laquan special. No surprise to be seeing Laquan picking DP3 whatsoever. Actually, from the looks of this qualifier, there's 8 people here, and top 8 move on. Everyone here is going in. So they're just kind of playing for fun at this rate. I don't know if that 9th player was somebody that DC'd, because that Wendy does have 0 points. I'd have to assume that's the case, in which case I don't know who it was that DC'd and how many points they had prior. But Jez, with a world record holder on this track, is going to find himself in an early first place.
Of course, just gonna put it out there. You can take all the best lines, but this is also just such a good track to pull mushrooms on and shroomed. I mean,
that being said, though, the back spots are taken up entirely by the CPUs. No one really knows what's going to happen with the shock that the bots almost inevitably pull. This is a track that's only 55 seconds in the time trial world record, but, we have Jenswa already about to lap Lakitu here. And is getting redded.
Yeah.
Not able to break it on the bush, and, okay, Blue will go for Gabri.
Baby.
And it will connect. Okay, actually the shock will really nullify the damage that the Blue could have done to Gabri. He'll be getting first. And Jenswa may hold on to second, unless Teach has something to say about it, yeah. So another 3rd for Jenswa. Teach in 2nd, and I believe Gabri in 1st. No, Teach did pass him at the line, but...
Yeah, it does look like all the CPUs were bottom spots. I did not see that.
Yeah, that's always what happens when you have this many CPUs in a lobby with players of this caliber. It's just you really never actually going to know what's going to happen with the power items. You have no idea when Blue's being thrown. You have no idea when Shark is being used. And at this point, unless this qualifier just had 8 players to begin with, then I think these 8 just kind of get a free pass into the semis.
Getting Cheeseland. We love Cheeseland.
Yeah. I think all these people just kind of messing around for fun at this point. They've basically all advanced, barring something crazy happening with whoever the other people were in this lobby that DC'd.
Of course, so Cheeseland, another bagger, I would say, one of the more popular ones I see a lot. Because it has, I think, one of the craziest bullet extensions. I might be wrong on that though. And of course, just front running, collecting the coins, trying to keep his lead the best he can. A nice trick coming on the platform, getting the banana to block that red. Banana still coming out. Nice mini turbo to boost him through that track cut. Banana still in hand, has a chance to get it stolen, but unfortunately might not be most. Just throwing the coin, trying to get another defense item, getting the bomb. Of course, just the cart being slightly small enough to not get blasted in the radius.
Yeah. Yet another track where Jens was in the top 3 worldwide, but yet another track where that really doesn't matter because here comes the whole pack from the Shock. Here comes the blue. Here comes Nino with a shroom in first. Here comes... Looks like Gabri probably also with something to pass him up. Yeah, triple shrooms here. Very good item for the ending. So, like, really, no matter how fast you can run, especially on a track
And
like
messing up on the cheese
Jenswa.
there.
Jenswa, you hit that strat, man. Come on.
Of course, but
Alright.
even showing that some of this stuff can be a bit hard. Like, in general, even top players will sometimes mess up their cuts on accident.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest in the game. That cheese clip there. Having to go through the... Having to go through the pieces of cheese to get onto the ramp. There is a version where you can go around, where you can just go around them, but it's significantly slower. And in that lap 3 situation where he has to pass people right then and there, that's just not worth it.
Dolphin.
I'm glad we're getting the bad tracks out of the way now. I'm very glad we're getting the bad tracks out of the way now when it doesn't matter.
What is this track called?
Dolphin Shoals.
Thought so. I just didn't want to be wrong there.
Yeah, used to be one of the most used to be one of the most popular tracks in the game in the online meta because of this right here. If you're starting in a mid spot, then you can just draft up to first for free, unless you get lag drilled. And that's why it fell out of the meta. Because it works in theory, but not in practice, as we see.
Yeah, it might work in like an offline setting, but that's gonna be a lot harder online.
Yeah, Jesua does have a really good item set for the rest of the race here. Gonna be able to take the shroomless glider cut. Could do that with a shroom to gain a little bit of speed, or to just recover from getting hit there. Chain here, get a pretty decent box. Already has a ghost in the first slot. Triple shroom is a decent item for this.
Gets another shroom off of the boo as well.
Yeah, probably just gonna chain it here though. Single shroom not really gonna do much for him. Not nearly as much as a star would anyway. I'm just gonna chain that immediately because with those bots that far back there, you have no idea. Star plant, nice. You really just have no idea when this bot shock is gonna come. You can kind of judge based on like that Metal Mario hasn't used anything visible on the minimap in a while. He could be stuck into golden for all we know. Okay, Jin's win a bill for the rest of the race. This will take him to the line or very close to it.
Alright.
But he is kind of stuck back here. He might pass Ewan. No, he won't. Bell will end early.
Yeah.
But shroom past him anyway, yeah.
Unfortunately, getting lag trailed at the beginning of that match and just not being able to make it too far back up from there.
Not that it matters, but
Of course not. But
yeah, 8
look,
people.
look, it's
Yeah,
the bragging that counts. It's the
yeah.
bragging rights.
No, that's what happened. That's what happens in a lot of these tournaments. You have people dropping, then you move on just for showing up.